So, welcome to the Revolutionaries of Chess video lessons, and we construct a King's Gambit accepted Muzio Gambit. So, black plays here, Queen f6. This move is considered as the strongest for black, and white plays here, pawn e5. So, this additional pawn sacrifice for the opening of files is the most promising. So, black should respond, queen takes e5. This is a forced move because in case of queen b6 check, king h1, bishop h6, knight c3, queen c5, d3, or queen f5, pawn d4, bishop h6, knight c3. White gets the decisive advantage here. So we'll get back to this move, and black plays here, queen takes e5. In this position should be considered two continuations for white. This is the first one. This is bishop takes f7 and pawn d3. So let's consider bishop takes f7. King takes f7, pawn d4, and queen takes d4 check. So just much weaker here to play queen f6, bishop takes f4, bishop h6, queen h5 check, queen g6, bishop takes on h6, knight f6, rook takes knight on f6, king takes rook f6, queen e5 check, king f7, knight c3, and white wins the game. So in this position, if black plays queen f5, then white should play pawn g4, queen g6, bishop takes f4, knight f6, and bishop f5 with the strongest king's attack. So black should play here, queen takes d4 check. Well, actually unsatisfactory to play here queen e7 because of queen h5 check, king g7, bishop takes f4, pawn d6, knight c3, knight f6, bishop h6 check, king g8, queen g5 check, king f7, knight d5, bishop takes h6, rook takes f6, with an easy winning. So let's get back to the main position. This is position. So black plays here, queen d4, bishop e3, queen f6, bishop takes f4, and black plays here, queen e7. So other moves here leads to obvious white advantage. For example, just consider bishop g7, knight c3, knight e7, knight d5, knight takes d5. So white plays queen takes d5 check, queen e6, bishop h6 check, king g8, rook e1, and white wins the game. So instead of that, if black plays bishop c5 check, king h1, pawn d6, knight c3, knight e7, knight e4, queen f5, knight takes bishop on c5, pawn takes the c5, queen c3, knight d5, queen takes the rook on h8, knight takes f4, rook f3 with obvious advantage here for white. So back to this move. Where black should play knight e7, white plays knight c3, and knight f5. So if black plays here queen f5, then white plays queen e2, king e8, bishop e5, queen e6, rook f6, and it can be seen how to repel the white attack here. So back to this position, and black plays knight f5, white plays knight d5, queen g6, knight takes c7, bishop c5, king h1, pawn d6, pawn g4, and knight d4, or black can play here instead of that knight h4, queen d5 check, queen g7, bishop d2, bishop takes g4, bishop c3 check, king h6, bishop d2, with a draw result here. So if black plays here knight d4 in this position, so queen d5 check, king g7, bishop takes d6, pawn d6, rook d8, bishop e5, queen h6, and bishop f4, and the result is draw again.